Assalamu alaikum Pakistan and welcome to the 1-to-1 podcast. Joining me today is Alex Poppeck. Alex Poppeck is Munich's #1 mixed martial artist right now. And I have the privilege and honor of talking to him. He's on a rise, he's on a tear, he's going through everyone he's fighting. And Alex, it's an honor talking to you, brother. How are you?
I am very well. I appreciate to be here and
Yeah,
I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you.
It's an honor. It's an
Thanks
honor.
so much.
So first and foremost, Alex, I want to know the entire COVID situation in Germany, because what I've heard is that, it's at a bit ease right now. There's not a lot of tension going on in Germany. What's your take on that?
So yeah, things are loosening up at the moment.
Okay.
So people can go out, we can go shopping, we can go like running outside, we can train outside. But still the gyms are closed. They are opening up next week.
Okay, that's
But
great.
yeah, but still with hard rules. So we have to keep distance between the trainees. So we can't have contact sports at the moment.
Exactly.
And but life in general is okay. I would say we can go outside. We can like we visit the restaurants again and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. So have you ever been to Pakistan, or do you have any Pakistani friends except Rizwan and a few other people?
I never visited Pakistan, but I would love to do so for
Yeah,
sure.
man, you would love
And
it. If you're a fan of food, right, you're gonna love Pakistan. It's mind blowing,
yeah,
bro. It's mind
yeah, we
blowing.
have
And
a we
yeah,
have a couple of Arabian restaurants in Munich, and
oh,
yeah, I
yeah,
like that. I like.
my aunt basically, she lives in Germany as well. So like she's a huge fan of Germany. I've always wanted to visit. She lives in Bremen. So one day, why not? And when I do visit, I'm going to contact you for sure. I'm roaming around with such a badass person. So I'm going to feel really secure in Munich and Germany while being with you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah. So, man, Alex, martial arts is such a dangerous sport. You risk your life every time you step into the cage. So what made you choose this specific field? Was your family previously involved, or what was your motivation? What was your drive to get in? Could you not find any other field, or you knew that if you were going to be something, you're going to be a world champion in martial arts?
So I think it's the adrenaline rush and the competition. I want to compete against other guys and show that I trained myself to that level, that I compete with the highest level in the world, and yeah, just want to mess myself against other guys.
Okay, so for how long have you been involved in martial arts?
So now it's about 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, 10 years, 10 years of your life. And, the results are showing as well that you're pretty successful. You're pretty successful as a martial artist. You're getting your way up there. You have a pretty slick record as well. It's a very impressive record, especially in such fields. This isn't something like, this isn't something like football or, some other sport like cricket. It's only you and, your passion, your drive, your motivation, which is going to lead you towards reaching the success. So now I want to know about, I heard that you were on Dana White's Contender Series as well.
Yeah.
How did that play out for you? How was the experience like? You fought in Vegas, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I got a call from my manager at
Yeah.
that time. It was not Rizwan, but now he's my manager.
Yeah.
And because I had a win on Titan FC.
Yeah.
This is on UFC Fight Pass as well.
Yes.
And then I had the opportunity to compete on the Dana White Contender Series. And yeah, the time in Vegas was awesome. Like I never see something like that before, especially the UFC Performance Institute. You have all what you need in
Yeah,
one
all the
place.
privileges. It must have been a crazy experience for you, man. I wish I could just go up, close and see the entire UFC Performance Institute, or maybe attend an event in the coming future. But as far as I've heard, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, Alex, what's your ultimate goal in martial arts? Which organization do you want to fight for? Where do you see yourself in the coming years? And, and what is your sole purpose? What do you want to achieve after you retire? There's after you retire, and the thing about this sport is that it's you participate for a very limited amount of time in the highest league, right? Because
Yeah.
a fighter has the span of maybe 10 to 15 years maximum. So where do what's your ultimate goal for this entire journey you're on right now?
So for sure, I want to compete in the UFC,
Yeah.
compete against the highest level guys. And also, if possible, get a world championship title.
Why not? Why not? In Pakistan, we say, when we want to achieve something, we say, Inshallah. So, Inshallah, you're going to achieve that as well, and it means God's going to be with you. May God be with you in every step. So, I really hope that. So, I want to go a bit detailed in your training regimen, before COVID-19 and after COVID-19. So, what's your training regimen like?
So right now, the training is kind of limited. I just I train outside a lot when the weather is good with a couple of guys, but now the situation is difficult. So fortunately, I have a gym in my basement.
Oh, that's great.
Small gym, like 20 square meters, but still everything you need. So mats, bag, and all the pads, all the gloves and stuff, and also rack for lifting weights and the airdyne bike, so I can push myself.
You literally have an entire gym at your basement. The thing that you're telling me is like you're an entire gym. You can call people as well. You can start charging money. The amount of equipment you have at your place. That's great. That's excellent. So, Alex, I want to know, because this is the first time I'm talking to you. I have the privilege of talking to you. I want to know that what is, the MMA scene in Germany? How, far ahead is the competition? How many rising fighters are there? Because, in Pakistan, they're just like a handful of fighters which everybody knows about. But I believe Germany, has a lot of exposure, comparing to Pakistan. So what's the competition there like? The fighters there like? And where do you place yourself among all of those fighters?
So the position and the level here, year by year, gyms are opening up in Munich here as well.
Okay.
But in northern or middle Germany, they have the biggest gyms like Frankfurt and Cologne, cities like that. They have the bigger gyms. Here we are focusing, I feel like in Munich we are focusing more on the kickboxing and boxing aspect.
Okay.
Like a lot of gyms are opening up with kickboxing.
Yeah.
But we have a high level in Germany right now. Like the biggest event is GMC, called German MMA Championships. We have a couple of very high level guys, and I am one of them.
Good. Excellent. Excellent. So have you ever competed in GMC?
Not yet, because I was taking the international route, I would say.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. That's great. That's great. And what else I want to get into is now your future plans, right? So you have a good record. You're aiming to get yourself into the UFC. So what's next right now for Alex Poppeck?
Okay. You gotta ask that question, Rizwan.
Okay. So you're just on hold right now.
Yeah, I am keeping myself fit and ready to go whenever the call is coming. Rizwan is doing a great work. He's trying his best, and let's see. Our goal is the UFC by next year.
Okay. So would you ever want to compete in organizations such as ONE FC, Brave, Bellator? You have these in mind as well, or it's just the UFC for you right now?
Oh, for sure. For me, like UFC is the best goal, but when it is Bellator or ONE, I'm more than happy with that.
Okay. So Rizwan, I want to ask about your training experience, right? So have you trained anywhere else except Germany?
Yeah, a lot of times. I travel a lot for the training. I was in Thailand a couple of times training at Tiger or Phuket Top Team.
Oh, nice.
I know a couple of Pakistani guys are training there as well sometimes.
Great, great,
Uh,
great, great. That's good. You know, a lot of people from
yeah,
Pakistan, a lot of athletes from Pakistan, they tend to go to Thailand because Thailand is pretty near to us. It's like 4 or 5 hour flight.
yeah.
So, you know, we have a lot of talent which is going there as well. And, you know, martial arts in Pakistan is rising, but there's not a lot of, you know, what you can say, there's not a lot of attention towards them like there is towards you because people are gradually understanding the entire thing. So, you know,
Mhm.
so, Alex, you must be a family man as well. You must have a family. You must have children or a wife, right?
I do have a girlfriend since 3 years. We are
Okay,
very tight, I would say,
that's great.
and
That's great.
we don't have children yet, but we are planning to do so.
So how difficult does it get? You know that you have to move away from your loved ones, and you're sacrificing, and you know there's so much on the line, and this is such a risky sport. At times, you must feel, you know, demotivated. You must feel like, man, this is the end of the road for me. I can't do this anymore. Do you go through such emotions and such feelings during this entire process? And how do you cope up with it?
Yeah, sometimes it is like that. Especially when you lose a fight, then you have a couple of days or so where you are down. You think, "Oh man, I can't do this anymore," or so. But then it's on yourself to get out of the situation and grow and
Yes.
become stronger.
True, 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 true. Yeah, man.
So it's a lot of mental game. So you have to have a strong mental power, yeah, mental strength.
What's the lowest point of your career right now that you've been at, and what's the highest point of your career which you've been at up till now?
I would say the lowest point was after my loss at FFC against Todorovic, because this fight was so shit. I guessed out after 2 minutes because I don't know, I had a bad weight cut and stuff, and then I broke my jaw in the fight.
Oh shit! Oh
So
shit!
yeah, and after that I was like, oh man, I don't know if I keep doing this sport. You know, you don't get pay so much money, and then you get this fucking injuries and
True,
stuff.
true.
But the next day I had the operation, and when I woke up from the operation, I said, man, let's go. When is the next fight? You know.
Exactly. It's good,
Uh,
man. You know, people don't have such a drive which you have. You know, just to get up the next day after with a broken jaw as well. You know, and you want to get back into the ring again. That's brilliant. That's
yeah,
brilliant.
because the injury, like, then it's okay after the operation. You know, for sure you still have to eat differently and stuff, but the broken bone is closed again, and then you feel like, man, let's go. When is the next fight? This is the best thing in the world.
True, true,
and
true, true. You know, it's an addiction. I believe any form of sports you involve yourself is an addiction, honestly speaking. You know,
yeah, for sure.
even if it's running, it's addictive. So, Alex, you
Yeah,
mentioned fight pays, right? So, obviously, initial stages of martial arts, when you're getting there, the fight pay is not much, right? You have to. You have to cut weight, you have to prep your own meals, you have to spend time on training. There's a lot of investment on yourself. So how do you cope up with the entire financial situation regarding, you know, while being a martial artist? Because I know, of course, it's not easy to generate money until or unless your dad is like a billionaire and he's
yeah.
sponsoring and funding your entire camp and your entire lifestyle. So how do you cope up with the entire financial situation in the fight game?
So I also work as a personal trainer. This
Okay.
business is growing right now.
Okay.
I have a lot of people right now because of the gyms are closed, so
Yeah.
everyone wants to train, and they asked me to train them. And also, we are planning to open a gym soon, like
Oh,
next
that's good.
month. So,
Your own personal gym.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You know, I believe there's nothing better than a personal gym, man. You know, when you have your own setup, when you have your own thing, you can go in, come out anytime you want. You know, you feel like the boss, especially in, you know, in such a field. Having your own gym is very necessary.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, 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 yeah. So otherwise, you know, I want to get a bit, you know, sidetracked from martial arts, and I want to ask about your daily routine. how it is as a martial artist, because structure is a very important aspect of martial arts, how you structure your life, the format of your life. So how do you start your day? How do you get along? How do you motivate yourself? Because sometimes, everyone has low days. It's not only you or me. So how do you get through all of that?
So I start every day with a cup of coffee and a good breakfast.
Yeah, that's necessary.
Yeah, and then for sure. And then it depends. If I have personal trainings, I go to the personal training. I try to put my own training in between, and also I try to spend time with my friends, brother, and family, and with my girlfriend. So you have to, like you said, you have to have a structure. You have to plan ahead. You can't live day by day because so much to do, so much to train. I have to train other people. I want to spend time with my friends and family, with my girlfriend. So like you said, you have to structure it, but I can't tell you a specific way I do it because it depends on the day.
Yeah. Of course. But you're very busy during the entire day. That's what you're saying. Your days aren't free. You're consistently working and working and working to achieve your
That's right.
specific goals. Yeah. So, Alex, what's been, your because this game is pretty dangerous, like we talked about. So, what's been your biggest fear in this entire thing? Is it getting knocked out? Is it losing the worst the biggest fight of your life, or not achieving your goal? What's your specific fear in this entire situation?
I would say I don't have a specific fear, but because when you live with fear, you don't do the sport. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
you can't live with fear and then you go in the octagon. But for sure, you're scared before each fight, but you're scared to lose.
Yeah.
You know
So
that
what?
that
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
that's the thing. You're scared about to lose, not about like, oh, I'm scared to be hurt or something, because then you wouldn't do that sport. Yeah.
True. So, I want to ask you about, your pre-fight rituals, or what do you go through before a fight, before entering a cage, your emotions involved, have you ever felt like, you just want to back out, you just don't want to enter the cage, because with pre-fight, there's a lot of emotions going on inside an individual. So what are your pre-fight rituals like before entering the cage?
Yeah, in the past, I tried different rituals like mental training and breathing and visualizing the fight, and it worked out pretty well. But I have to say that each fight is different. Sometimes you are very hyped up, like very aggressive, ready to go. Sometimes I'm like more like tired. I don't know, like I rather would go to the couch. It's very different. And sometimes I'm like happy to be where I am and ready and like almost like positively excited. So it changes up every fight. You never can tell how you will be at the arena.
Yeah. I
Every
think
time is different.
I think the size of the crowd and the event also matters a lot in this situation, because once when the crowd is this like 10, 15,000 people or 5,000 people watching you, that also gets to you. Has that ever happened to you?
Actually, I enjoyed that. When I fought in Kazakhstan Titan FC, there was like 10 or 11,000 people.
Oh wow.
So I like that arena and I like that energy from the crowd.
Yeah. So Alex, you're a light heavyweight, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So how much weight do you have to cut to get to 205?
Not too much. I'm so 205, so I'm only 215 or something. So 10 pounds, not too much.
Okay. And
Yeah.
and I want, because there are a lot of fighters who are listening to this podcast, when I'm going to release it. So I want you to give them some advice to how to specifically manage your weight cut and how important a weight cut is, because fighters, they usually tend to leave it for the last days. and they don't understand the concept of, consistently, managing your diet a month, 2-3 weeks before the fight shows up, before it's fight time. So how important is weight cut, and how does it affect your performance if it goes wrong and if it goes right?
Yeah, it impacts your performance a lot if it goes wrong. I experienced that myself,
Really, how?
Yeah, I gassed out after like 2 or 3 minutes in the fight, or after the first round. No energy in my body. But in general, I would advise people to don't cut too much weight. Only if you have a nutritionist on your side, or if you experienced weight cutting a lot of times, if you know what you do, you can do it. But I would advise on like to be cautious, and to don't cut too much weight. So because
Okay.
health is always number one priority. And yeah, it is like what you said, like keep your diet in check, like 2, 3, 4 weeks before, and so you don't like cut 10 kilos in 1 week,
Okay,
the
okay,
last week.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfectly, you're exactly right. And that's how it should go. So, there must be a lot of upcoming talent in Germany right now. There must be a lot of upcoming fighters, young individuals who want to get involved in this specific field. So what's your specific message to them? Okay, how to, choose this path, and there's certain, you have to have that drive in you. You can't just be, an individual one day and you're like, oh, I'm going to be an MMA fighter, right? I think that's not possible. That's like, you must be dreaming, or you must have been having really fucked up thoughts that, you're just sitting and you want to be an MMA fighter in a day or two. So what's your message to these specific individuals?
The message is consistency is key.
Okay.
So you always have to work, have to push yourself, have to show up for training, and keep grinding day by day, day by
Yeah,
day.
yeah. And what's your message? Because I'm gonna wrap it up in a few minutes. Zoom is also gonna close, so I just want to know what's your message for the haters and your upcoming competition. You can send them any sort of threat you want. You can tell them you can kill them or whatever you want. It can be a dangerous message as well.
The message is just show up, because
Ah.
because I hate talkers. It's
All
too much
right.
talking involved in the sport.
Yeah.
If you say you fight, you should show up to fight. Don't like, oh, I fight. Oh, I want to have like fight at this weight or that time, or oh, I want to change, or no. If you said you fight, you want to fight. So please, guys, show up. If you say yes to the fight, you have to show up. You don't, or only if you're injured or something, for sure. But keep your word.
All right, all right. Great, great, great. Alex, you look like such a humble person, I don't know you that much, but you look like such a calm, humble, that I can sense, that you have an animal inside you which just gets out in the cage and nowhere else. Otherwise, you're a really humble, calm, nice person, and I really appreciate that, that because if I was an MMA fighter, I would be cocky as fuck, right? I will. Because mostly people tend to be like that, but you're not, and I really appreciate that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it so
Yeah.
much.
And Alex, it was an honor talking to you. I'm not even kidding. It was an honor talking to you. You're my first international guest, and I'm going to be having a lot of more international guests on the platform as well. And it was an honor talking to you, man. You're so humble. You're such a nice guy. You agreed to the interview, and I'm really thankful that you joined us today. And if you have any message for the public, for the individuals regarding COVID-19, regarding martial art training, everyone's going to be listening to you. If you have any message, you can convey it right now.
Okay, so first of all, thank you as well. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to be on your podcast.
It's an honor, brother.
I think we can do that again in the
Of
future.
course, of course.
Yeah, guys, keep safe, and also keep training. Don't let this situation stop your goals, and keep pushing. Also, thank you to my family, to my girlfriend, to my friends and sponsors. Yeah, I think that's it. And greetings to Rizwan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks to Rizwan as well for setting this entire situation, this entire meetup. And Alex, it was an honor having you. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Poppeck, the rising star, the future champion of the UFC in the light heavyweight division. We wish you nothing but the best, brother. And we hope that you compete soon. You know, you conquer everyone, whoever you fight, and you know, you have a bright future.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, man.
Thank you,
Be
guys.
well.
Greetings.
I wish I could have had a face off with you right now, but you know, this is virtual media. We can't do that. But
Yeah.
take care, man. Be well. Thank you so much for
Take
joining
care.
us. All
Bye-bye.
right, brother. Allah Hafiz. Take care.
Bye.